What's cooking, guys? It's a Salukie, and welcome back to Jerusalem. So it's about time we went to the neighborhood, the extreme neighborhood of Mea Shearim. So the local friend Tzvi hooked me up with some Jewish drip. The only problem might be the trousers, the jeans that I'm wearing, because they're a bit ripped. But these were the only black trousers that I had, so we'll make it work.
Oh, Tom.
How do I look?
Great. Oh, yeah, it works. Yeah, it's comfortable. Looks good.
Thanks.
I don't recognize you.
Oh, for real? Yeah, I'm assimilating.
Yeah, you've joined the cult.
So this is Tzvi. He reached out to me on Instagram and he offered to show me around Mea Shearim. So what is it like living in Mea Shearim?
For the Hasidic community, it's a safe life. It's easier because everything's there set up for them in the way they want to live, as they want to live, how they want to live.
Oh, thank you, man. Cool. Guess where I'm going?
To the old city.
Mea Shearim.
Mea Shearim. Good
See you,
luck
man.
with that.
Thank you. Tzvi says that I look like a local, but I don't think they're gonna buy it. I'm too brown.
It's a very simple way of life. You know, you get up in the morning. For men, a lot of them, they just go to yeshiva. They learn all day, and the married men, they get paid for it as well. And
how do they get paid for it?
by learning all day. The yeshiva they're learning at will pay them a salary for their learning. Small amounts, but it's enough for their family. It's because they learn all day, and you know this is how they make money for their family. And then they come home, and the wife will be taking care of the kids. It's simple, you know, simple lifestyle. This is Geula. Geula, Mea Shearim, you don't know ways well.
Oh, right.
It's the same thing. It's all the same. Look, you can already see.
Yeah, like the yeshiva.
Yeah, we're crossing the road here as well. This is our first stop. Yeah,
oh, we're gonna go in. Okay.
Yeah. I hope. Unless we get thrown out. Just be careful with recording here.
That is a Bet Midrash, which is a place where people study Gemara, Torah. What kind of event are they having here?
The rabbi, the Adma, who's like the head rabbi of the sect, will come and celebrate the Friday night.
Sorry if the filming is a bit off. We have to be inconspicuous here.
Check out this wall. This is a study hall.
Oh, right.
As well. This is another Beit Midrash.
Yeah. Let's walk through it. So here we have all the books, the Gemara, the Torah, the different Talmud books, where the people study. And they sit mostly over there, and then upstairs here, the windows are mirrored, but that's where the women are.
ארץ הקודש.
Ah.
נולדתי באמריקה, 40 שנים הגרתי בארץ הקודש.
Oh.
40 שנים. העיקר שאתם יהודים.
Yeah. העיקר שמה?
אתם יהודים.
Meidim?
יהודים.
Oh, יהודים.
אתם ישראלים, אתם לא כמו כל הדברים הסבירים.
You don't speak English? Oh, okay.
No,
אז באיזה גיל עזבת את אמריקה?
שתי שנים.
שנתיים. אוקיי. איזה שפה אתה מדבר הכי טוב? יידיש?
יידיש. מה החילוק הכי גדול שיש בין יהודי לגוי? גוי זה לא בהיימר. כמו זה יהודים מהקיצוץ. מה שהם רוצים לעשות, הם עושים באמצע החור, וזה, הם לא יכולים להתאפק, הם לא יכולים לחשוב. ועוד דבר חזק, יהודי יכול תמיד שמח. גוי הוא יבש. לא שמח, לא, כלום, כמו אבן.
אבל גם לגויים יש חוקים. גם למוסלמים אסור לאכול חזיר.
לא, אבל הם לא יכולים להיות קדושים, הם לא קדושים. עושים זה רק להשיג
What do you think about what that guy was saying about going being like cats?
Some people do hold more personal opinions that come from the heart rather than actual factual sources. They kind of feel these things rather than actually know these things. I haven't personally read anywhere where it compares Guy and the non-Jewish people to, or the rest of the nations, to cats or anything like that. I agree that it's an extreme opinion. I don't necessarily agree with it. I have many friends who aren't Jewish. You see this with every group of people. There's always, you have extremists. You know, you go to like places in Palestine and they'll say, you know, how much they hate Jews, and some people might say how much they love Jews. It's the same thing here. Some they'll say the Goyim are like cats, and some people say they're the best people and we should look out for them. You know, there's a bit of both.
Yeah, you told me most of your friends are goyim.
Yeah, a lot of, I mean, now in Yeshiva, none of them, but in New Zealand, there's no Jews there. So, I mean, of course, some of them are amazing people as well. They're all amazing people who have done a lot for me in my lifetime. I don't see anything bad with them, or I don't think anything less of them.
So this is a Christian Syrian orphanage, which later became a British military camp. And then in 2008, it was an IDF base. And now it's becoming a museum for Israeli communities. But also there were Christians that used to pray here not so long ago. So you've got a Christian area here right next to Mea Shearim too, right next to Geula neighborhood. And over here you can already see that everybody's religious. All the women and men are, you know, the men are dressed like us, all dripped up with the hats, and the women with skirts and covering their elbows. So here are some apartment buildings here in Geula, right next to Mea Shearim, the street. And these are the fancier ones. They look pretty good, but over there in Mea Shearim itself, there are some very impoverished looking apartments, and people pay a fortune for them because we're in Mea Shearim.
Do you want to go in here? It's a shopping mall.
Oh, it's a shopping mall?
Yeah. It's like small, it's mostly for women.
Oh, I see, yeah, they have shops for women and kids over here, and the mannequins don't have boobs. So this is just a tiny shopping mall. They only had that one shop. Over here, some sweets and nuts, and over here another shop with clothes, but also for women. Oh, and some wine, eh? Jews can drink, unlike Muslims. You'll notice in this mall that a lot of the businesses are family-centered, like selling strollers or things for the babies. It's because life here is centered around that, pretty much. So over here, they still have some sit-down cafes and restaurants like Sam's Bagels here. But inside Mea Shearim, it's not really a place where you can sit around and be in a cafe. They don't want people doing that. And they also don't want tourist groups either. It would be a lot harder to film this video if we were more than 2 people. So the thing here is, we have to be a bit quieter now because we're getting closer and closer into Mea Shearim. But Tzvi likes it here, but he's saying that a lot of people are scared to come here because they're scared that if they take their phone out, for example, then they might get attacked. And he's saying that he's seen it happen before.
There's a lot of kids, they raised against the whole idea of smartphones. So the kids will come and like throw paper at you or something, and you know, like they get offended by it as well. They think it's a disruption to their learning as well. They think it's bad for them. They think it's unhealthy for them. That'll put them in a bad place. So
Right.
they get offended when they see one. If you pull out a smartphone.
Yeah.
It's a UN car next to us.
A UN car? What
Yeah.
What are they doing though? Like,
Make sure they're not like they're anti these groups.
They're anti.
Somewhat.
Yeah.
They're just like they're a little bit anti-Israel as well. But they'll twist it a little bit and say like, hey, look how these people aren't pro-Israel, they hate Israel. And then they'll find like a Palestinian flag somewhere and say like, hey, we all hate Israel here. And then they'll try to find the right time to take a photo. It happens. A little bit sad, but yeah.
This is Jerusalem's Shibuya crossing in Tokyo. Look how many people. So now we're on the main street of Mea Shearim, which isn't that tough. We are getting a few looks for the cameras, but it's inside the neighborhoods where we'll really have to be careful. But yeah, more, you know, family-oriented shops, bread, that kind of thing, religious books, bagels, whatever this is, toys for the kids. So this is the place where they get all the hats.
Do you need help?
It's all right. You make the hats?
Not myself, but we know how to make it.
Yeah, yeah. And what do you make it from?
Where the hats made,
How do you make them? Like, what do you use them?
we buy some felt,
Yeah.
quality of felt, and we shape it with steam, with a lot of machines, a lot of process, and in the end you have the ready product.
Here in Israel?
We have factory in Israel, factory in Europe, all over the world.
Yeah, but these ones here are made in Israel? Or?
Few in Israel, few in Europe.
I think this is for the ladies, right?
You got it.
Doesn't even fit. I have a really big head. Red Dead Redemption. So Tzvi just got his hat cleaned, and actually when you
Really better now.
get a hat here, then you get lifetime warranty. If it breaks, you can fix it. If it's dirty, you can clean it. So it's a hell of a deal. What's this place called? Fresser Quality Hats. Indeed, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you for now. Come back. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
It smells nice as well.
So here we have an apartment complex and also a small yeshiva inside. But just so you get an idea of the type of apartments that people live in here. You've got, kind of like in Italy, you've got the laundry hanging
Look at
out.
the sign in the house. No drugs, no weapons, no smartphones.
It's actually pretty trashed. Like downstairs here, they don't, I don't know, they don't really take care of it. How much would a place like this go for, do you know?
Dollars
Yeah.
to buy for rent.
Both.
I don't know about the rent, but to purchase these, they're like handed down from generation to generation, so they're like well over $1 million. Like it's pricey. This is just as pricey as it gets in Israel.
So these guys here have the same look as that guy that we talked to inside the yeshiva. Why? Like,
They're a group of Hasidim, of a certain sect. They dress like this. I think on Shabbat, on the Sabbath, they dress in these golden coats. They look like that, but in gold.
do you know what the Hasidic group is called?
I think they're known as Toldos Aaron.
Right. So there's many different groups of Haredi Jews inside of this neighborhood and in general. Different streams, different rabbis. Yeah. Sorry if I keep looking around. We gotta, you know. And this is the entrance to the neighborhood here. It says, please do not pass with immodest clothes, both in Hebrew and English, to make sure you get the idea. Yeah, we're gonna take a mince around the neighborhood. You see how tight the alleyways are over here with people living inside these houses? And also you can see the old Jerusalem rocks. This neighborhood was built by the, I think they're called First Yeshuv. So I was saying this neighborhood was built by the old Yeshuv, which are the Jewish communities that were living here in the region of Palestine during the Ottoman Empire. It's very old, maybe the oldest neighborhood here besides the old city, of course, of Jerusalem.
This is the oldest neighborhood.
Here it says also מעבר קבוצות בשכונתנו, פוגע קשות בתושבים. If groups pass through here, then it really hurts the citizens. We're not a group, we're a couple.
Yeah, this one as well.
Please do not pass in modest clothes. Here it says, well, you can read for yourselves. Yeah. And here we have to be very careful not to pull out a smartphone or something. Oh, and look, Palestine flags.
Yeah, this is where it is. This is a Neturei Kata have a shul here.
Right. Neturei Kata is a group of Judaism that also don't believe in the state of Israel and support Palestine and go to their protests around the world. So here we have a Palestine flag. I can't zoom in with my iPhone, but I hope you can see it over there. Yeah, here are some posters, Jews are not Zionists, on the background of the Palestine flag. Tzvi here is watching my back.
Yeah, careful.
Yeah.
Look, they make them also just out of like no colors. They graffiti them everywhere.
Yeah.
To show how against Israel they are. We're going this way. We'll find a lot more of that in a second. We'll go like to their kind of complex, which is just right here. This is their complex here.
Yeah. Oh, really? This is the anti-Zionist complex? No way.
I guess.
Big Palestine flags over here and here. And here they have a Star of David being equal to a swastika. See? That guy that's shouting mincha is calling people for a minyan, for a group of 10 people, to pray mincha. There's 3 prayers in Judaism a day, and mincha is the one in the middle of the day. You have to be very, very careful here. I've got my camera in my pocket because, yeah, he's watching, he's just guarding right now. Okay.
This is one guy in it, but one
Yeah. Here we have another Palestine flag flying proud, and here it's drawn on the wall. And Tzvi was telling me, like, watch out from this guy and from that guy, because there really are distinguishable differences between the different Haredi Jewish groups and how they feel about, you know, a camera or Zionism or whatever. So there are little intricacies, and if they haven't realized already that I've got piercings and whatever, then they would very quickly know that I'm not actually a Jew, like a Haredi Jew, Hasidic Jew, Orthodox. Bro, the looks I'm getting here, it was easier to film in the favelas of Brazil.
Yeah, wait. Do you want some?
Yeah, sure. Zero sugar, my kind of guy. Yeah, so here we have some more houses deep inside the neighborhood. You can see the clothes hanging. Most of it black and white because, you know, that's the style here.
If the police come here, they get very angry. Then they chill when they drive off. Like they crime is low here though. Like they don't feel like they need police to be here. So they don't like the police either. Like they don't like the Zionists, you know, the government.
So I have a question. Since they have so many Palestinian flags, what happens if an actual Palestinian comes here? Will they embrace him?
It's a bit of a mixed opinion. Some of them say that because they just think that this country can't exist, Israel can't exist until the Messiah, Mashiach, arrives. So that's why they sometimes they get a bit more extreme. So some of the Palestinians, they know this, and they think like, hey, they know that they want us to be kicked out, just on their terms, not on the Zionist terms.
Right.
So they say some say it's all the same thing, but some say, hey, this is the true Jews, these are the people that stand with the Palestinians, and they do embrace it sometimes.
Yeah.
Some of them don't, some of them are very against it.
So a lot of people here do actually have smartphones when they run businesses or do, whoa, she's wearing a...
Yeah. So
that looks like a burqa.
Yeah.
Anyway, then they do have smartphones, but they don't really take them out here because, you know, they gotta live their life, do things online. And here it says, don't take out a smartphone, even filtered. And what a filtered smartphone is basically some sort of app that blocks everything that makes the phone unkosher, that, you know, blocks access to the internet and leaves you only with calls and SMSs. So smartphones in general in Mea Shearim are a no-no, but you obviously reached out to me on Instagram, you watch my videos on YouTube.
Smartphones can be very dangerous to a community, especially such as this one. They're a closed community, not because they like want to be, but because that's how they have to be almost. There's a lot of dangers in the secular world with you know, things we see on the internet which are very bad, especially for young boys. Unfortunately, like giving them a smartphone isn't always, it's very counterproductive. It keeps a lot of people, they don't want to admit it, but they're very addicted to the smartphones. And they like spend all day on it and all night on it, and they will neglect their studying, and their minds will be changed as well from the things they watch. I think you'll know what I'm referring to, but you know, it's very dangerous. It's just very, very dangerous, like for boys to be seeing this, even girls to be seeing this, because you know, a lot of our lives is centered around families, about how our family works. When you settle a family and these sorts of things that you see on the internet are like drilled into your head, this is what you believe is true sometimes. So this is what you're going to be expecting from your wife or your husband, and it's dangerous, it's very harmful.
The irony of the sign is that I would love to film it with my smartphone because I could zoom in and you could see it properly, but never mind. It's a stern warning. מה, זה פלאפון כשר? אז זאת החנות שלך?
לא, זה החנות שלה.
אוקיי, אבל היא לא מפה. היא...
מהפיליפינים.
מהפיליפינים, נכון?
ביורק.
מה התפקיד של האישה במשפחה היהודית? פה במאה שערים?
בכל העולם, אמא יהודייה.
כן.
לחנך את הילדים, לעזור לבעל, שיוכל לשבת וללמוד. רוב הנשים בציבור החרדי עובדות.
עובדות?
כן, כי הם רוצים שאנשים לא מודעים לזה, שהבעל יושב וילמד.
The store is already 70 years old. It was built by my father-in-law. He had 3 sons. So they managed it before. I married to the youngest one.
Yeah.
But he died 1 year ago.
Yeah.
And the oldest one also, he died.
משתף
So,
בצער.
yeah. What's left was the second one, but he's not working here anymore. He has another business to run. So when my husband got sick, so I entered to manage it.
Were you born in Israel?
No,
In the Philippines?
Philippines.
Did your husband meet you there?
No, here.
Here?
We have 4 children.
תספרי לו על האמת והיושר,
יש להם,
שאנשים מחזירים לך כסף, אפילו שחייבים.
כן. זה מה שיפה אצלהם, they are trustworthy.
Yeah.
Even though I will tell them that חסר להם כסף, and I said go take it and come back if
Yeah.
you have the money. למחרת אם באים, אני לא רושמת בזה,
Yeah.
they give you back. That's nice.
Integrity.
Yeah,
Integrity Farms.
yeah, well,
סלמת פה.
well,
אין כמו מאה שערים.
אוקיי.
מאה שערים זה יפה, זה אותנטי. בליל שבת אתה בא, קורא כולם עם השטריימלח, כולם עם החליפות עם הג'ובה, עם הפסים, והילדים איך שהולכים עם פאות ארוכות, ואנחנו ברוך השם יושבים ולומדים על טהרת הקודש פה, כל השכונת מאה שערים, לא לוקחים מהמדינה,
כן.
שום דבר, הכל על טהרת הקודש.
This lady's got a Palestinian flag on her back.
I don't even think they do that, no? I don't even think the Palestinians
No, they
do
don't.
that.
I don't think so, yeah.
It's like it's more patriotic to them than they are. Now we have modern people.
They also drive like they're in Palestine.
Yeah, they get very annoyed because these people can be a little bit cruel sometimes. So they're like be driving the roads, they have to hoot and hoot and hoot, and Like a Rosh Hashanah, everyone will get out of the way so they can just drive.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just see people just, well, I don't care if I walk in the road here because I know that everyone else is like this guy.
Ah,
You want to see this Sfarim shop?
Okay, yeah. So this is the biggest Sfarim, aka book shop here. The Hasidic Jews use some words in Hebrew. It's just type of the part of the lingo. But yeah, this is the biggest bookshop in here. So there's an extremist group called the Sekirim here, which is just about 100 families. And they wanted to censor the bookshops over here. Just because we're in a bookshop, I thought I'd mention it. And they did 250,000 shekels of damage to a shop that resisted their demand to censor the books.
It's a lamp. They sell stuff for shops so that you can turn on the lights in shops.
Because you're not allowed to touch electricity on the holy day, you know, touch electricity, drive a car, make money. Then they have a kosher lamp. You can turn it and then you're not technically touching electricity. Yeah, I don't think they have any fiction or anything that's not religious. Oh, they do?
But it's religious fiction.
Oh, let's see.
This is all the Talmud on both sides.
And can you hear the Jewish music playing in the background?
This is all the Mishnah. This is all other more.
Where's a Song of Ice and Fire?
What?
I'm joking. Like Game of Thrones.
Yeah, it's this one here. I'm just kidding. These are more children's books, which will which will be more like, yeah, like these. I guess you can call this fiction. Okay, it's,
yeah.
Like all the children's books are gonna be, but there'll be like lessons in it of Torah. And
yeah, and also like this dog is wearing a yarmulke.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Like the married woman dog is covering her hair.
So here we have a pizza, which obviously doesn't have pepperoni on it, but it's very cheap. It's 25 shekels. That is considered very, very cheap for a family pizza. So Tzvi is missing dinner because of me, so I'm gonna get him a pizza. Each one is 5, no? Yeah. Cheap as chips. הבניין פה ישן ממש, אה? כן, ממש יפה. כמה אתה רוצה עליה? מה? זה 1,000, 2,000 שקלים. תלוי איפה, באיזה מדינה. למה יש לך שרשרת כזאת? So in Judaism, before you eat bread, you have to wash your hands in a very specific way. I think it changes between streams of Judaism, right? The way that you wash your hands. But Chabad Jew over here, you do 3 and 3, right? Yeah. And then when you're done eating the bread, then there's something called Birkat Hamazon. They have little booklets of it over here. And yeah, you just say a pretty long prayer. So I thought I would also get myself a slice and give it a go. Here we have it, the 5 shekel pizza with nothing on it. You get what you pay for.
It's really pizza as well. It's like
yeah.
a full pie, 25 shekels. That's like $10, you know. It's like
yeah. Oh well. Now he's doing the Birkat Hamazon, the prayer after bread. He knows it by heart. He doesn't even need the little booklet. Here, this lady is wearing a burqa that's even covering her face. Not even Muslims wear that. So night has fallen upon Mea Shearim. It's a bit chilly now even, I would say. Here on the mountain in Jerusalem. I wouldn't mind wearing a blazer like Tzvi. But also, these guys come out. This guy that has a sign that says, happy life, only without smartphones. And playing some music advertising. Rabbi Milubavitch.
The Rabbi of Lubavitch.
The Rabbi of Lubavitch, Ukraine.
He's from Ukraine.
Yeah.
Nikolaev, Ukraine.
Do you want to talk a bit about Chabad Jewry, being a Chabad Jew?
Absolutely. Chabad Lubavitch is like a very different to the other. It's very different group to the other Hasidic groups. Chabad centers more on other people than themselves. They work with the people outside of the Chabad community, even outside the religious community. Even Jews, non-Jews alike, they help the whole world in making this world a better place. You saw probably a lot of photos of the Rabbi Milubavitch, the Lubavitcher Rebbe, who's the current leader of the 7th and current leader of the Chabad movement, who's sent thousands and thousands of shluchim, emissaries around the world, who set up these things called Chabad houses, a house where a Chabad family will settle, in places even as far as New Zealand, in Thailand, all over America, everywhere in the world, in Nigeria, even everywhere you can think of, you'll find there's hundreds of Chabad houses all around the world, and it's a center for Jewish life, for people to have, kosher food on Sabbath, the meals, the Shabbos meals, all sorts of stuff. Just even people who aren't connected, to help people out in all sorts of their physical and spiritual needs.
And this is a Chabad shop. Lots of pictures of the rabbi, lots of books. Oh, Shearim Tanaim. Shalom. And here they have books in English, French, and Russian. A lot of the Chabad community come from those countries.
More Russian there as well.
Yeah. Sidur. Russian Sidur. And we have the Chabad beats bumping. This is a rather big store. It has about 3-4 rooms. This must be some expensive real estate here. How to believe in heaven when it hurts like hell? Why though? Do you have one of these photos back in your home in New Zealand?
No, not in my home in New Zealand, but in my room in Yeshiva. I've got a few. I've got like small framed ones.
So this is a shtiblach over here, a very salubrious one, beautiful building. You want to kind of explain what a shtiblach is?
Shtiblach is like a small prayer house for regular prayer times, 3 times a day, and many people can use them. Like they're usually open for public, managed by a bunch of people. They're just like small. This has got various ones in just this one small building.
They're having a lesson. And what about these candles here?
I believe it's probably from people who are remembering a loved one who's passed away, or maybe it's something else.
So you saw how there were rooms with people praying in them. There's about 7 of those in this complex.
This is the Satmar group. Their shul, their synagogue, upstairs here, and it's the largest Hasidic group in the world. Most of them being in New York. See here, this is the Chazan, the place for the Chazan. Yeah. And the chair next to it is in case the Admir, the rabbi, comes to Israel.
Which chair?
The one on the right, the fancy one there. Yeah.
Oh.
I presume that's what it's for.
What is their rabbi called, this group?
This is Satmar.
So this is the biggest Sephardic yeshiva. It's about 6 stories tall. And the Jews here are Sephardic, meaning, brown, like me. There are Jews from Arab that were expelled from Arab countries, mostly. And Ashkenazis are from the European countries. I'm half-half, by the way. You can also see they're a bit more laid back here. They're not all wearing suits. Some of them are just wearing regular t-shirts. Well, not t-shirts, but like polo shirts, like this guy. Oh yeah, this guy's wearing a t-shirt.
So we can stay here, Sevilla?
Yeah, if we'd like.
They're very friendly, these people.
Yeah. Oh, over there, and then he gives lectures and...
Lectures, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, you see this guy in a polo shirt and this guy in a hoodie. So yeah, that's where the head of the yeshiva sits and gives lectures and such.
These guys, they all live here. This is where they live.
Oh, they live inside the yeshiva?
Yeah.
So the upper stories are like to sleep in dormitories. So. These are their dorms. This is where they live. And here they have e-bikes and stuff to get around the city, some food. אבל סתם רציתי לשאול על המגורים פה, זה כאילו כמה בחדר, או כל אחד יש לו חדר משלו?
זה כמה בחדר.
מה, כזה מיטות קומותיים?
כן.
מגניב, כן, כן. מחיפה אני, והוא מניו זילנד. So they're saying that life here is pretty good, that it's pretty fancy, and that the food is good. And they're happy. They have books in Arabic here for some reason. אפשר שאלה? למה יש ספרים בערבית?
למי שאימא שלו הלכה עם ערבי ואז הצילו אותה ואז עכשיו היא יצאה מהכפר, מה היא יודעת? רק ערבית, אבל היא רוצה יהדות. אז הנה.
באמת?
כן.
Okay. It seems there's actually more people roaming around here at night because everybody just finished with their yeshiva, like their school or work or whatever. So you came all the way from New Zealand, and he's 17 years old. The beard might be a bit misleading.
Coming here from New Zealand, the culture shock was the biggest thing. There's, everything's different. In New Zealand, there's no Jewish people. So being Jewish in New Zealand, you don't really have many people to relate to. You have a small community, which is like a family to you. And then you come to this country where everyone's Jewish. And it's this big culture shock. Well, not everyone, but a majority. and it's like everything's kosher. You can eat in the restaurants, you know, buy stuff in the supermarkets. It's like a dream come true almost.
At home, you would only be able to eat at certain kosher restaurants. Where there's probably only one in your town or city. None.
Yeah, just the Chabad house and whatever. Yeah.
Would you eat at vegan restaurants or? No. And how did you fund it? Because obviously it's very expensive to come all the way.
So there's for many people coming to Israel, there's ways for like youth groups who people want to come to yeshiva or like a gap year experience for 1 year. There's many organizations such as like Birthright and Masa who fund these trips. So I went that sort of way to get to Israel in the program. Yeah.
So what does your daily life look like here in Israel, here in Mea Shearim?
So now I'm in yeshiva. Every morning at about 6:30 I go to the mikveh, which is like a ritual bath, which is like in the ground of water, like fresh water.
Cleansing.
Yeah, it was like spiritual cleansing basically. And I go there, and then from there I say the morning blessings, which is like a little bit, and then we put on tefillin, which is for the morning prayers, the morning service shacharis, which goes on for about 40 minutes. And we have our morning learning of like Talmud, of Gemara, like 2-3 hours. We have lunch break. We do the same thing in the afternoon. Another break for a few hours, and then we go into our night seder till 10:15. And then some people, they stay and learn even later at night, and they go from there to bed, and they wake up the next morning and repeat 6 days a week.
So you have a very busy schedule from morning to night in the yeshiva and everything. What made you think it was important enough to step out of your comfort zone and make a video with a YouTuber?
Well, I noticed you were in Israel, I thought a lot of people, there's been TV series on Netflix like Orthodox and My Unorthodox Life, which try to portray the Orthodox community, the Hasidic community, the Haredi community, as these like terrible, evil people who like oppress women and hurt women and make life like horrible and live like a cult. And I thought, seeing that you were here in Israel, I thought I could maybe take the opportunity to show that it's a very friendly group of people who live very similar lives somewhat, just with, they live it's a different lifestyle. It's not a cult or anything. It's just a very traditional way of living, and it's a nice way of living for some people, and that it's not a bad thing, and that women aren't like oppressed. They're, in fact, sometimes we believe they're more special than men. They're like a spiritually higher people.
Closer to God, they say.
Yeah, precisely. We honor them more than hate them like people think we do.
And they indeed were friendly, and like in any community, if you disrespect their laws, their regulations, the culture, then they're not going to be friendly, Is there anything you'd like to add, to say to the world?
Yeah, come to Israel, come to Jerusalem, check out Mea Shearim for yourself. It's a lovely place to be. It's a very cool place, different world.
I died!
So I suppose that's just about it. We're leaving Mea Shearim now. Here are all the people that... This is another shtiblach, isn't it? The same one that we just walked by, my bad. Thank you for watching. If you want to support what I do, go to patreon.com/Salukie, where you can make little donations and you get access to my podcast and exclusive videos and early access to videos. So yeah, thank you. Love you very much. Thank you, Tzvi. Thank you. My God.